Hello everyone. It's still morning. Good morning. It's Thursday. Oh my gosh, this is a very tired Whitney coming to you today. We had a very violent storm last night. It was very warm yesterday and the temperature dropped, which of course always is recipe for major storms. Unfortunately, it was trash day this morning, so everyone's trash cans were out last night. High winds then proceeded to blow everyone's trash cans over. There's trash all over the neighborhood. But we also lost power, so we were without power from about 8 o'clock until 4 this morning. And our cell service also went out, and those are our primary phones, which was a little scary that we had no way of calling anyone if there was an issue. There wasn't. So our evening last night was spent playing games by candlelight until we all went to bed. And then when the power came on at 4, I'm not sure what our family was doing, just walking around the house turning light switches on, because when our power came back on at 4, like all of the lights in the house came on. And my washing machine came on because it had been running when the power went out, and the dishwasher came on because it had also been running when the power went out. It was a large cacophony of craziness at 4 in the morning, and my husband sleeps with a CPAP machine, and which is for sleep apnea, and he just really cannot sleep without it. So he was real restless last night, so that did not help. I couldn't sleep because he was tossing and turning, and he couldn't sleep, and then everything coming on at 4 meant for a very crappy night's sleep, basically. I'm very tired. So it's cold this morning. It's only 45, and I think that's probably, 48 is the high today. It is sunny, so that's nice. We'll probably get out for a walk at some point. But I think I'm just going to turn on a movie and sew up this Melody Dolman and then also this Monty shirt for my daughter. I think that's what I'm going to do today. I had quite a few people asking if I could talk a little bit more about cutting out and how I lay things out and how I get, the pattern Tetris and all that I do. Also a lot of comments on why I don't measure for my grain line. I used to measure for my grain line. I really just can eyeball it now. And I can show you how I lay it out to make sure, especially knits, to make sure that they're on grain. Yeah, I can definitely show you all that. But yeah, a lot of people were asking why I wasn't measuring my grain line when I cut things out. I can eyeball it, and I can measure it, but it's on 99% of the time, so I eyeball it. I've just done it a lot. So that's just kind of what has happened from that. Okay, I'm just going to sew today. Yeah, that's what you've got coming from me, and I will show you the fruits of my labor at the end. I also think, I don't think I'm going to time-lapse you today, only because my computer is having a hard time with all the footage that has to come into the editing software for the time-lapses that then I, of course, condense down by speeding it up. I may do some time-lapsing tomorrow, but as far as today, I think I'm not going to time-lapse you today, just to give my computer a little break. It was like the little engine that could yesterday, and it's getting older, so anyway, we're just going to condense it today. So yeah, I will come back with things that I've made. I'm just going to turn on a movie and do some sewing, and I'll be back with, the fruits of my labor. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. So here is the finished Monty shirt. It is definitely cropped. She's going to wear a tank top underneath it because when she raises her arms, belly. But she's pretty happy with it, with her high-waisted jeans and or high-waisted shorts. Yay! We even put here, we did the stripes different, so you can see vertical on the bottom and then horizontal across the top. And then we've chosen, or she chose some dark purple buttons for the front. Yay! That's all done. Okay, so you just saw my daughter's shirt. She really loves it. It is short, so she will just wear a tank top underneath it whenever she wears it. She does that with her sweatshirts too, which is fine. I like that about her, so she's pretty happy with it though. And we did play around with the stripes. Yeah, that's just a really great pattern, that Monty shirt dress. So I highly recommend that one. Okay, I am going to try on my Melody Dolman for you now. You'll have to excuse, it is a pretty, I'll need to wear a lighter bra than I currently am wearing. I'm wearing my darkest bra right now. You're gonna be able to see it straight through the shirt. I will not normally wear this bra with the shirt, but it's what I'm wearing. So let me put it on for you guys real quick and I'll show it to you. So here is my Melody Dolman. I think this is gonna be a great little top for the summer. My buttonholes still need to be kind of stretched. But yeah, nice linen top. And they also have this one paired if you wanted to do it with high-waisted bottoms. And I have on my Itch to Stitch Eddystone jeans, which are high-waisted. They also have it, here, tuck that. Where you could wear it tied as well, which is also really cute. Sorry. So there. So I have a nice little, I think that'll be cute with white jeans and white shorts and that kind of thing in the warmer weather months. Everyone loves, it's loose fitting, it's linen, it's a thin linen. I think it's just it's gonna get a lot of really good warm weather wear. So there we go. I finished 2 tops today. I am having a really down day. You know, I read a meme on, God, my hair is amazing too. It's super windy outside. We just got back from a walk and it was like walking into like 40-mile-per-hour headwinds. It was miserable. My head is killing me. I'm sure I inhaled so much pollen while we were out there. But I read a meme that was just saying it's okay to not be okay during these times because this is not normal times that we are currently living in. So if you're not okay, that's what should be expected. And I liked that. You know, we don't have to be super productive right now. We don't have to, you know, figure anything out. It's just, you know, these are really weird times that we're living in. So it's okay to have down days. I'm reminding myself that. But I did get 2 things sewn. So I do feel, you know, that helps quiet my mind a little bit. So that was good. So I have no idea what I'm going to do tomorrow. I have a whole pile of stuff. You guys still haven't seen my plans video. That's coming up next week. Friday, I think. I think it's next Friday. Tuesday, I'm doing a pattern and fabric haul. And then Friday is my plans video. All that's been recorded. But I do still need to record Sunday's video because I don't have anything to go up Sunday yet. But anyway. Okay, that's all I've got for today. I'm going to go ahead and call it now. We need to go figure out dinner. Just wanted to show you what I got made up today. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow and we will figure out tomorrow when it gets here. Have a good night. Bye. Good morning, everyone. It's almost lunchtime. It is Friday. What day is it? I don't know. I'm getting ready to do some filming for Sunday, but I don't know that I'm going to get a ton of sewing done today. I am doing the pattern test I've been working on. She sent the final ish files to us last night, so I am going to make one more of those to get formal pictures taken of today. I think that's the only sew I'm going to do, and I can't share that with you, unfortunately, yet. But I had a lot of questions about cutting out, like when I'm cutting out and getting things on grain and how I do my pattern Tetrising and all that kind of stuff. So I was just going to kind of show you how I lay out because I'm actually working with offcuts from a previous project to cut out this top. So I thought I would go over and show you kind of how I do that. Yeah, and then I'm going to be filming, which you obviously won't see today, but filming the video for Sunday. Going to be taking out the shoulder pad ease on a vintage pattern. So that is what we've got going on today. I'm feeling much better this morning. I had a good night's sleep, which makes a world of difference. It's really sunny, but it is only 37 degrees outside. It is very chilly. Anyway, so we'll probably get out and do like a family walk. I clearly need to finish doing my hair and put on some makeup. So next time you see me, I mean, I'm going to show you the layouts, but next time you see me, I should be fully made up. That always makes me feel a little better for some reason. Is anyone else like that? Okay. So let's go over to the cutting table and I will kind of show you my thought process when I am cutting out a new project. Okay, so hopefully you can see me okay. So I have some, you'll notice this is the fabric left over from that kind of looks like the 1940s tea dress that I made, the new look dress. And I'm going to make a top out of this with the leftovers. So this is narrow fabric, and I really quickly want to talk about, hopefully you can see this, putting fabric on grain. So the way I enjoy doing this, and I do this for my wovens as well as my knits, is I line up my selvages. Always iron your fabric. I don't always iron my knit fabrics because those just can sometimes get stretched out, but definitely always iron your wovens so that everything's nice and as crisp as possible. But if you line up your selvages, and hopefully this isn't too dark, if I get off grain, so if I shift my selvages, you notice how the fabric starts to pull and kind of distort there at the fold? That means that it's not on grain. So I want to pull my fabric until it's hanging completely flat with my selvages together. So that fold is nice and secure. And then I lay that down. And then from there, you can lay it out the rest of the way. And then you just want to make sure that nothing's distorted here. Okay, so that's how I put my fabric on grain. So you just want to make sure that nothing is warping or bubbling. And that's how I will lay it out. And then once I know I have one section that's on grain, selvage to selvage, then it's pretty easy to smooth it out the rest of the way. Sometimes with certain rayons and sometimes linens, you really have to kind of spread your hands over it a couple times to get it nice and on grain. And then I always like to line my fold up with the main line here on my cutting mat. Because especially with rayons, this is a rayon batik that I'm messing with, although this one isn't as shifty as a lot. Even your fold line can get kind of weird and wonky, and if you're cutting anything on the fold, that can make that difficult. Okay, then I also had questions on, people were seeing me sometimes not just fold it over once, but folding it to the center and then folding it to the center. That all depends on how many pieces you have that need to be cut on the fold. Now, this pattern, and I'm not even entirely sure I can get this pattern out of this fabric, so we're going to do this together. But I do have some offcuts too of the print that kind of coordinated with that, so we will mess around with it. So a good way to check is you can just have it, folded the one time and then lay your pattern pieces out. This is the sleeve here. Also, you want to make sure that you have the same amount, especially if you're messing with an offcut. And I don't know that I've got enough. This needs to be cut on the fold, but this is a good way just to kind of see. Well, I guess I could do it that way. So there's a chance that I could get creative. I may have to do my inner yoke with this fabric. Which will just work. Okay, so now I can see that I think I can get this fit in, but obviously I need to have folds on either side. So this is where we have to get super creative. Because this has a lot of stuff cut on the fold. The yoke's cut on the fold, the front and the back are cut on the fold. Obviously the sleeve is not. So this is where I will then fold approximately to the middle. And you can kind of fudge this a little bit, obviously you're going to get more out of your fabric if you're only folding over just as much as you might need. But again, you want to make sure, now your cut edge might not always line up. Even if you've torn on the grain, if your grain is kind of twisted a little bit, that may not even line up. So I usually try and go just by what the fabric is telling me and not, necessarily making sure that my cut line, sometimes this will line up at a right angle, but not all the time. Sometimes you need to pull your fabric on the bias if it's really off grain. But sometimes just like rayons in particular are just super slinky and just don't want to behave. Okay. So I think, how did I have these? I have this one over here on this side, which I need a little bit more. So we're just gonna fold this one a whole bunch of different ways in order to get everything out of it. Now, alternatively, I could have cut double of my everything that's cut on the fold to just be one width or one layer, and then I would have just, you know, not folded anything, and you could just cut out single layer. That's definitely, if you're working with small amounts of fabric, always an option and always a good option. Okay, so I've got this one on the fold. I just need one of these. So I will cut it out. And then go ahead and mark my notches. And I always mark, if things are on the fold, I always mark the center that's there on the fold. That always comes in handy. Okay, so there's that one piece. Now, if you remember, when I was laying things out, this other piece needs to be cut on the fold, but down here, and it will have some overlap. So that's what we're gonna do next. So now, I will fold this over, and actually, just so I can reach it a little easier, I'm going to flip-flop it this way. Now, I've got to kind of get a little more creative, so there's going to be negative space under here, and I need to remember that as I'm cutting so that I don't accidentally have like half that's underneath not cut out. Ask me how I know on that one. That is nothing more heartbreaking than thinking you've eked out a pattern to find that half the other side of it's missing. Usually you can kind of feel under there, and I can. So now I will cut out the front. Mark my notches. I'm not going to mark this one on the fold because it's obvious where the center is. All right, now we've got that one. Now, to get my sleeves to fit, I'm going to have to cut on the cross grain. I think I can get my yoke out of this piece over here. So, and I might be able to get both. I have to cut 2 yokes. There might be able to get both yokes out of that. We'll have to wait and see. I kind of just wanted to do, I have to have bias binding for this to do the bias binding out of there, but I could do the inner yoke if I need to. All right, now I'm going to fold. And again, I'm just paying attention to the grain and the way that the fabric is folding. It usually really wants to fold on grain, unless, again, like I mentioned, it's super wonky. Okay, now I get a lot of questions about this too. I don't measure my grain line, and I think that's freaking some people out. That is because I, number one, I'm going off the grid that I'm cutting on. And number two, I have eyeballed my grain for so long now. I had to when I was in the workroom. There just wasn't time to be able to measure all the time. So even when we were doing custom stuff. So yeah, I am eyeballing, but I am actually following and lining up my grain line on my grid here. So yeah, I don't actually measure. I could get a tape measure out, and usually I find that it is pretty much spot on. So that is the workroom mentality. And it's just because I did it so much. Okay. So there's my sleeve, and I cut that on the cross grain, not on the straight of grain, which I'm okay for this top. Cross grain's not as stable as straight of grain, but it's a rayon. I think we're going to be fine. And that's a good cheat as well. Sometimes you can get away with certain pieces being cut on the cross grain. They still need to be straight grain or on grain, but you're lining up your grain line parallel to the cross grain instead of the straight of grain, if that makes sense. Straight, the selvage. Instead of parallel to the selvage, you're going parallel to the cross grain. It's the whole warp and weft thing. All right, and now I need two yolks. I don't know if I can get two out of this or not. Maybe if I hold my breath. Nope, not gonna happen. Because I need pretty much all of that, don't I? Yep. Okay, we can get it out of the other fabric. Okay, I'm gonna mark where I'm on the folds. And my notches. Okay. So there's one. And then I think I can get one out of here. Just barely. And this is an inner yoke, so you will actually never see this unless you see inside the shirt. And oh no! See, this is where you have to be careful. Sometimes on scrap pieces you will have a slice cut out like that. I'm gonna see what we've got. I might be able to fix that. We'll see what we've got left over of this. Okay, so there we have it. My shirt is cut out. So now I just need to make bias tape out of the leftovers of this, which I think I can probably get another yoke piece cut out if I need to. So I'm going to do the hem of the shirt and the neckline of the shirt. Now, bias is super easy if you have a cutting mat like this, because you can just lay your fabric and match up your grain lines. I still have the selvage attached on this side. Make sure that's all squared off. same drag. Just gonna cut that off. And then I have a line that I can just peel this back and it will cut it directly on the 45-degree angle, so on the bias. And then from there, I can just lay this along the straight grain and cut myself a whole bunch of 2-inch strips. I could also lay my 2-inch ruler along here to help. But yeah. So there you go. I'm just going to cut out a whole bunch of bias strips and possibly another yoke piece if I can't fix that, that little clip that was there from the previous. And there you have it. That is how I lay things out to cut out and how I get the most out of my fabric. Hope that was helpful. Okay guys, I don't have a tripod on my camera. I'm holding it backwards at the moment, which could be very dangerous. So I just finished filming the video for Sunday, so that will be going up then, hence the hair and makeup. I am already feeling a little bit better. I think I'm gonna call it for today though. I hope this vlog isn't horribly short between yesterday and today. I did make a top today, but it's that final version of the pattern test I've been doing, which again is just a re-release of a current pattern that we all know and love. So that's exciting. That's great. It's wonderful. If you already own the pattern, it will just go into your account and you can just re-download the new pattern. There's been a few tweaks, I think, to the original pattern, just small things, but anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and call this because I'm actually gonna go have my husband go outside and take pictures for me. Oh. Here comes in the children. Have my husband take pictures for me in the new, ooh, I'm filming. Have my husband take pictures of me in my new shirt. Isn't it fun, everyone being at home all at the same time? Anyway, so I can get those submitted as well, because those are due this weekend. So that is on the docket, and then it is Friday night, so we are going to chill as a family. So I will see you guys tomorrow for maybe some sewing. I'm not sure what I'll be up to, but definitely talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay, have a good one. Good night.